All right, so we're going to have a look at Z-scores. Z-scores are a way of standardizing scores between different things. So, for instance, you might have an English mark and a maths mark. Which is actually a better mark? Well, it might not be to do with actually the mark. It might to do with how the class performs. So it's a way of comparing those things. So what a Z-score does is take any sort of normal distribution where the mean, let's say the mean was 60%, and we've got standard deviations here. Let's say, I don't know, an 8% standard deviation. And it's going to turn it into our standard normal distribution we looked at before, with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Okay, so how does it do that? Well, the Z-score is going to be, well, we need to move the whole thing to make it 0. So we take our raw value, we minus off the mean to make it 0. And then we divide by our standard deviation. And that will turn any score, any raw score, into a Z-score. And the Z-score is literally how many standard deviations above or below. So a positive Z-score, so if Z is greater than 0, then that means you've done, that's more than half, higher than half of the population. Or if you got a Z of greater than 1, well, if we remember back to this, that's going to mean that you're above this section or in the top, whatever it was, 27% or something. And so that Z-score is a way of comparing or removing the mean and the standard deviation from some data. Great for comparing between a maths and English mark. Maybe the maths mark has a lower mean, you got a lower score than the English one, but actually you did better Z-score, so you would consider that a better mark maybe. And that's basically it. This used to be really essential for doing all of your calculations with normal distributions. Calculators allow you to actually do a lot of this automatically, so it's not quite as important as it used to be. But it's still, you might hear people talk about Z-scores. Let's do a little example. Let's say in maths, what did I say? You got, let's say you got 68%. In English, we got 74%. And the mean for maths is 60, and the standard deviation is 8. Let's say the mean for English was 70, and we'll have the same standard deviation, 8. So let's work out the Z-scores for each. So the maths Z-score is going to equal 68 minus 60 divided by 8. Well, 68 minus 60 is 8, divided by 8 is 1. And the English Z-score is going to be 74 minus 70 over 8. Well, 74 minus 70 is 4, divided by 8 is 0.5. So for English, you've got a Z-score of 1. And sorry, for maths, you've got a Z-score of 1. And for English, a Z-score of 0.5. All right.